Hi, everyone. I'm back this week to talk about art and activism. And we're going to look at a local Oakland artist, Fabiana Rodriguez, and learn a little bit about how you send messages to people about things that are important to you. So I brought a slideshow to tell you what I mean. Fabiana Rodriguez is an American Latina artist from right here, right across the bridge in the Fruitvale neighborhood of Oakland. And she makes posters about things that are really important to her. She does a lot of work around immigration, social justice, racism, war, gender justice, climate change, COVID, lots of things. So, this is one of her more famous posters. Migration is beautiful. And this is the monarch butterfly. So, we know about the monarch butterflies, right, that migrate each year between Mexico and California. There's different places you can go and see them on their path. So she's used the shape and the colors of the butterfly, but she's added people's faces in the wings to make you think about migration. So with the butterfly, it's part of nature. Every year they go through this cycle. And nature doesn't pay attention to borders. They cross the border all the time. So she's trying to get you to think that's natural, right? So what is such a problem with immigration? Shouldn't people be able to cross the borders too? So it's something that gets your attention and makes you think about something. And she's used bright, warm colors like the sunlight here to also further her message. This is a poster she did about equity. She's got 4 different people, all of different colors and races, all holding hands, working together. The circle is always symbolizing the coming together and a working together. And it's a really positive, simple poster. She also uses these cutout shapes from nature and different things in the background here and collages them down. Remember, we talked about collage a while ago, how we cut up shapes and then paste them down and do things on top of that. So she often prints on top of that. And here's a series she's been working on during the pandemic in 2020 called Faces of 2020. And it's funny, she has buckets of different cutout face shapes, like a bucket of noses and a bucket of mouths and a bucket of eyes. And she takes different pieces and puts them together into this portrait of somebody. And remember, it's a collage, so it's got all the pieces all glued together. And then prints on top of them. You can see some of the different details from block printing in some of these. And she's saying here, all these faces are different and unique. And the pandemic affects everybody. It doesn't care who you are or what you look like. But it especially affects brown and black people they've talked about in the news. Certain areas it's hitting harder than other areas because of different reasons, different ways that people work, that they can work from home or if they have to go in and work somewhere with a lot of other people, how many people you live with. It's not an equal opportunity disease. So it can affect everybody, but it's affecting more people in some categories. So she's talking about all of this in these very simple, colorful posters. It really makes you think about stuff. But they also look like they were really a lot of fun to make. Here's one also made during the pandemic, and this one's called No Going Back. So she's used a very simple symbol, the cocoon, right? The caterpillar enters into the cocoon stage and comes out changed as a butterfly. And the cocoon is also a symbol of safety and warmth while you're changing. So she's saying here, right now we're in the cocoon phase. We're trying to keep safe and warm. But when we get out of this pandemic year, things are going to be different. There's no going back. And I don't think she's saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a message that's being put out there, and that we can change through this. And maybe we can change for the better. Maybe that's the message. But a cocoon is a big symbol of protection. So that's also something important in this piece. She did a lot of work around voting in 2020, trying to encourage people to vote. So you can see the colors in here really symbolize warmth and caring. We talked about what colors mean last week and the week before. And she says, we lead by caring about each other. Vote. That's how we can do that. Really simple and powerful colors and simple images. We need each other. Simple symbol of the hand, the helping hand, helping each other. We need help. This was another one done this year. So obviously she's been thinking a lot about the pandemic and how we need to come together to make this to stop. We need to work together to change this. And here it's easy to see, you can see the collage shapes in the background and then how these black letters are printed on, so carved out of a linoleum or a wood block, and then you ink it and you print it on top of the stuff that you collaged. The last one I have, we take care of each other. Sort of the same ideas. She's used the hand symbol again. We need to work together to take care of each other. So there's some of the things she wanted you to think about. And these get put up all over the place. She said that her idea of success wasn't being in a gallery, but more seeing her posters around in the community, influencing people, spreading a message, enacting change, making people think, educating and liberating and organizing. Those are her important things that she wants to achieve with her art. So I have a little movie here that she made about how to make a political poster that I think you'll enjoy.
Hello everyone, I'm Fabiana and I am an artist and an activist, and today I'm going to show you how to create your own political poster to take to the next protest. Arts and culture shape our understanding of the world around us, and there has never been a movement for social justice without art. Art helps us understand our human condition and helps us imagine what's possible. A political poster has a direct political message, and the goal of the political poster is to educate, inspire, and move people to action. When I first learned how to make art, I learned how to make posters and was inspired by artists like Emory Douglas of the Black Panther Party, the Ospal artists from Cuba, and the posters from the Chicano movement. I'm going to give you some tips on how you can create your own political poster. There are 3 guidelines to remember when you are making your poster. Number 1, keep it simple. Remember that folks only have a few seconds to read your poster. I like to stick to 6 words or less, like what you see here. Whether someone is driving down the street and reads your poster, or scrolling through social media, they're only going to look at your poster for under 5 seconds. Words don't have to create a statement. In this poster, I used 3 words that I felt went well together. You could also ask the viewer a question. Keep your message clear and concise by sticking to 6 words or less. Guideline number 2, use popular symbols. Use symbols from our culture that people can easily recognize, like hearts, fists, earths. A hand means stop. Use symbols from culture, or better yet, from nature, to communicate what you want to say. In one of my most well-recognized posters, I used the monarch butterfly to symbolize the right that all living beings have to migrate. Symbols from nature are really powerful. Think about a thunderbolt, a hurricane, bees, a rising sun. In this image, I am showing some of my favorite fruits and vegetables together with the sun. The sun symbolizes the power of life, and the open hands give you the feeling of abundance. In my People's Climate March poster, I use a sunflower. Did you know that sunflowers replenish and clean the soil? I wanted to show that we as human beings can leave our earth better than we found it. When viewers recognize symbols, it allows them to rapidly recognize your message. Guideline number 3. Use aspirational and affirmative messages. Depict your yes. When you make a poster that talks about what you're against, your viewer will visualize that. But if you use an aspirational message, it actually allows your viewer to see and feel what you're talking about. For example, the movement for Black Lives has popularized the words defund the police. How about you create a poster that shows what you do want to fund in your community instead of the police? That allows people to really see and feel what a world without police and prisons can look like. Now it's time for you to create your own political poster. And remember, art is all about breaking the rules.
So we've learned a little bit about local artist and activist Fabiana Rodriguez, working right here across the bridge. And today I'd like you to make your own posters or lawn signs that express an idea. I'd like to think about what you would like to tell people that are walking by, to make them feel better right now. You know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, it's going on a year. What could you tell them to make them feel better, or to convey a message, maybe about your hopes or your dreams, or words of wisdom, or what you would like to see change? I asked my son, what would you like to tell people? And he said, tell them COVID will be over soon. So I took that as my inspiration and made a lawn sign to put outside saying soon. So it's a simple message, right? Fabiana said, use a simple message, just a couple words, use a popular symbol, and picture your result, picture what you want. So I used one word, soon. I used some symbolism, kind of like a sun, like sun coming out, like brightness, and soon we're going to come out of this. And it's cheery. It's what I want to see. This is what I want to see. I didn't make it all dark and stormy and sad. I used the colors, and what do colors mean? And I used some dark colors in here to say we're coming out of this dark time. So to make it a lawn sign, I just took 2 disposable chopsticks and taped them on the back. I used a piece of regular old cardboard for this. You can use really anything you have around. I used paint today because I felt like it. So what I would like you to do is make something, a sign or a poster, and put it outside, put it in your window, put it in front of wherever you live. Remember in the beginning of the pandemic, people put rainbows and everyone walked around looking for rainbows. And they were on fences and windows, on the sidewalk with sidewalk chalk. So at the end of the week, on Friday afternoon, you can walk around your neighborhood and see if anyone did this project and put anything outside. Might depend on where you live, but sometimes I walk around and I already see things that people have put out there to make other people feel hopeful and feel good, or to send a message, to share something that you would like changed in your community and how that can look. So people make posters to educate people, to organize people, to liberate, to share ideas, all of that. So I can't wait to take a walk at the end of the week and see if I can find any of the posters that you've made. And I hope you do the same. I can't wait to see them.